93 Boxing. I'm back with a quick video. Let's talk about Kell Brook. Let's talk about Mr. Chocolate Brownie, Special K. Kell Brook obviously has gone through a loss, a TKO loss against Errol Spence, and in which he got his face broken. He says he's looking to be back at the end of the year. Now, we've heard Amir Khan say he wants to be back at the end of the year, and we all know Kell Brook wanted Amir Khan for a long time. It only counts when Amir Khan's in the same weight division as him, though, which was since 2014. And it only counts where they started fighting high level opposition on a consistent basis. They're both fighting similar level oppositions. That's mid to late 2015, right? Actually, no, I would say 2014 rather. But yeah, Kell Brook is now here. He says he could either, actually no, he didn't say this, but from the looks of things, Kell Brook either might move up to 154 or he might stay at 147. It's either or, right? I mean, obviously, if Amir Khan wants to fight at 147, the fight will probably happen at 147. I don't see the fight happening at 154 unless Amir Khan suddenly says, okay, I'll move up to 154, which I don't really see that happening anytime soon. Kell Brook, right, personally, what I think he should do, I don't think he should move up to 154. I think he should stay to 147. You know, it's difficult for him to make 147, but what he should do is make sure he doesn't blow up too much during when he's not in the training camp. I feel like he could blow up a little bit when he's outside training camp. He might eat a little bit too much and whatnot. He has to be careful of that, because if he moves up to 154, right, the problem with that is those guys hit harder than 147 fighters. And those guys will... Kell Brook has shown that he can take a decent shot, but Kell Brook's been down as well before. And just because he can take a welterweight shot doesn't mean he can take a junior middleweight shot. There's a lot of guys, I feel, right, that can cause Kell Brook loads of problems. We know Kell Brook has problems with pressure fighters, right? I mean, we've seen him against Carson Jones. He's a pressure guy, you know. Kell Brook has some trouble with him. Kell Brook had trouble with Triple G's style. Even though he's a bigger guy, the style caused him problems as well. Kell Brook's style caused Triple G loads of problems too, but, you know, that's another video. And I guess Errol Spence's style also caused problems. It's like pressure fighting style, right? But I feel like another style can cause Kell Brook problems. The type of people that move away, that move a lot, like, you know, give people angles. Not necessarily move away, but like giving angles, have fast foot movement, and have good boxing ability, all that combined. You see, Kell Brook, right? I've yet to see him fight a guy who's on a higher level, right? On a world level, that can move around, give you angles, give you good long range punches with good jab, with good some speed to it, you know, speed to his footwork, speed to his hands, and just good around boxing ability. I've yet to see Kell Brook. I mean, Sean Porter is not really someone with great boxing ability. Senchenko's really, to be honest, no one. And you got Golovkin, who I feel like the first 10 to 15 seconds of the fight gave Kell Brook problems. Like first 10, you know, when the fight started and the camera is zooming in, that point when the camera is zooming in, Kell Brook was facing some problems with the jab. And you know, anyone can face problems at any time, any moment. But I'm just saying, like, with some boxing ability, Kell Brook might have some problems. We just don't know, because Kell Brook has been using his boxing ability as an advantage. I would like to see someone who also gives angles, who also does all those things. How would Kell Brook deal with that? And I feel like he can have some problems with them. Kell Brook's been down from a punch before, right? And I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying things that I noticed, right? Critiquing someone, I'm criticizing him a little bit, but critiquing is not hating. I still think Kell Brook's a really good fighter. Kell Brook has been down from a shot that wasn't really hard. He was down from, it was in 2000, maybe 10, 9, I don't know, long time ago. And he went down, right? It was a quick shot. It wasn't really too much of a hard shot. Now, when he got caught with a quick shot against Danchenko, the shots that he sees coming, I feel like he's more comfortable with it. But shots, I feel like that's quick coming at him. He gets a little bit scared. Shout out to Be Real TV. He actually said this, that as he sees Kell Brook fighting, he does fight a little bit scared. And I kind of noticed a little bit about him. I thought it was just me who's thinking that, but there's a little bit to him. And I want to see how, if you're fighting scared, right? If you're scared to get hit. I mean, fighters to a certain extent are not scared to get hit. Otherwise, they wouldn't be fighters. But if you're scared to get hit, you're going to be more shook when you get hit with a quick shot, right? There's a lot of guys at 147, right? Sorry, 154 that have quick punches, that have a lot of power, that can move around really well. You got Arislan De Lara. I mean, a welterweight moving up to 154 will feel his power. You got Jamel Charlo. You got loads of guys there, man. That will just cause Kell Brook a whole bunch of problems, man. And I feel like with those broken eye problems, I don't think that's a good move. At the end of the day, those guys are bigger, like stronger than most 147 fighters. I personally feel that Kell Brook, he himself said, right, he can make 147. It's time for Kell Brook to fight at 147. I think that's the best move for him. Now, Kell Brook has few choices at 147 as well. I mean, he has choices at 154 as well. He can just make his old name fighting bums and shit like he did at 147. He could do that. Or he can come back at 147. He could again fight bums and just, make his name off fighting bums. Or he could try some other things. He could actually take a tune-up fight, which is fine, but then slowly try to step up your competition. Doesn't have to be a world level right away. He could fight someone like a Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas has been up in the big stage, so he has a name. This time, I feel like Kell Brook versus Jesse Vargas will do more will generate more than Kell Brook versus Jesse Vargas if it were to happen before Kell Brook fought Triple G. They both are coming off a loss. But they're coming off a loss against names, right? So they will generate a lot of money. So because the main reason why the Kell Brook versus Jesse Vargas fight didn't happen, according to Kell Brook, is because they wouldn't get too much money out of it. Like Jesse Vargas was apparently asking for too much. Kell Brook, if he needs to go to America and fight, he should do that. Honestly, obviously, it'd be better for him to fight in the UK. But if he needs to do that, then he needs to do that. Kell Brook needs to fight those type of competition. Let me tell you why. There's few reasons for it. One thing it does is it prepares you when you fight these type of oppositions. When you fight in bums, it doesn't prepare you for a world level fighter. And Jesse Vargas is not an elite fighter. It doesn't prepare you for a Thurman or a Spence rematch or none of those world level fighters, right? But it still gives you a challenge, and it doesn't give you so much of a challenge that you can't handle it. Kell Brook needs confidence as well, and he will get confidence from beating guys, especially beating guys that have some sort of ability in the ring. Obviously, he could fight a top level fighter, but then if he struggles a bit, that could mentally play with him. Boxing's very mental, and also for him to come back, he has to beat a fighter that is known. It doesn't have to be an elite fighter. It just has to be some known fighter who has some decent skills, like a Jesse Vargas, like I can't think of names on top of my head, but who else is there? You mean Robert Guerrero? I think that's a pretty good fight. Robert Guerrero is a name. Kell Brook could fight him. Robert Guerrero came off a loss against a cab driver, and Kell Brook I think Kell Brook would beat him. Quite convincingly. Southpaw, not strong like Spence, not skilled like Spence, nothing like Spence, not big like Spence either. So I think Robert Guerrero will be a good fight for Kell Brook. He could do it in the States or in the UK. For him to come back, right? He has to decide. Does he wants to do it big like he almost did this time? Like, if he wants to do it big, he has to expand his fan base to the States as well. And to do that, he might have to go to the States. Or he can do the other route, which is fight bums and just make your name off in the UK. and call out Amir Khan while you fight bums. I won't be surprised if Kell Brook does that. You know, he's that type of guy who might do that. He's been doing that for his whole entire career. He's been calling out Amir Khan. Amir Khan was at 140. And you was at 147. You were calling out no one at 147, but you're calling out Amir Khan, who's not even in your own weight division. And then you won the title. You're like, oh, I done it the hard way. Amir Khan done it the easy way. Like, shut the fuck up, man. You chat shit. Kell Brook chat shit, man. He once said, I will surpass Floyd Mayweather's undefeated record. Like, the fuck? Yeah, no shit. This is when he came off a fight against Joe Jordan. Yeah, no shit. You fight Joe Jordan, you will surpass Floyd Mayweather's undefeated record. Yeah, because you fighting bums, man. Chatting a bunch of shit. You know what? If I keep talking about Kell Brook, I might actually end up talking more shit about him. So I'll actually relax. That's personally my opinion. I think he should fight like a Jesse Vargas, Robert Guerrero, someone like that. Slowly build up his name back and, yeah, fight them high-level fighters. Let me know what you think. 93 boxing. Oh, yeah, forget about Amir Khan. If Amir Khan doesn't fight you, forget about him. How about you go fight some other top-level fighters? I feel like Kell Brook won't do that. He only does that when he's pressured to. And Amir Khan's the only fighter that he will fight because otherwise he has to go to the States to fight a big name, which you don't want to do. He wants to fight in the UK. You know, calling out someone like Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia will not even respond, right? You call out Keith Thurman, he might respond, he might not. Chances are they're not gonna, they're not gonna give a shit because it's whatever. But Amir Khan kind of gave a shit because people would question them because Amir Khan's from the UK, Kell Brook's from the UK, right? That's the only reason Kell Brook actually made his name off of it. He was able to make his name off of Amir Khan. Kell Brook won't be able to make his name off no fucking Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman. And they're not even going to give a shit. They're going to pretend like they don't even know who Kell Brook is. Even though they do, they're just going to like ignore it. But yeah, man. That's what you should do. Let me know what you think. 93 boxing. I'm out.